Um, have you ever worked as a barista at more than one establishment?
Yes, I worked as a barista at Caribou Coffee during 2006 to 2007 for about 7 months out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your view on coffee shop business overall? Like, is it increasing, decreasing, or is it just kind of...
I'd say, generally, I'd have to say that coffee shop business is increasing. I think that's largely because of a lot of increasing students, like a lot of student population coming in and studying at coffee shops, and there's also kind of the demographics of the U.S. is changing into becoming a good social place for people to come up and meet. Mm-hmm. So I think, I think it's increasing for those reasons.
Okay. Did you find your initial training to be strenuous, or was it manageable?
It was pretty strenuous. Here at Bean and Leaf, the manager Andis Lika, he does a great job training, and I gotta say I had a lot to catch up on. 6 years not making any coffee drinks. I got here and he was like, okay, got me set up with the machine. We've got one of the old school, and it's not an automatic barista machine. At Bean and Leaf we have a it's more of an involved process with the craft of the drinks, and there's a little bit there's a fine line between with the espresso there's a certain way you pack it, 30 pounds of pressure per espresso shot, and so I had to get that down to get the right pressure and with the temperature of the drinks. Andis is very consistent with his drinks, and he wants us to be the same way. So I have to say the training was pretty strenuous.
Have you ever been injured while on the job?
I was just injured the other day. It was I got a burn sort of right here on my wrist. I was cleaning off the steaming wand, steaming off one of the rag to heat it up, and I kind of got a little. I wouldn't even say it was a burn on my wrist. Yeah, not a big deal. Nothing worth.
Is it frequent, or is it just like a freak accident, like every once in a while?
Once in a while. In the 3 months I've worked here, it happened one time. And it was a very minor injury, so not even... But it hurt, though.
Have you found that you have developed relationships with your coworkers outside of the business?
Definitely. Hey, take care, guys. All right. See ya. Definitely. There's some really great people that work here. A lot of they're like kind of, it's a social group, we're like good friends. I don't want to say good friends, but we talk with each other about stuff outside of work for sure. The guy working right now, Adam, he's a really good singer and guitar player. He's in a reggae band in Chicago. He studied at art school in Chicago before he moved here with his girlfriend. And so we plan on hanging out after work, sometimes I'm playing some music and recording. And he also makes pottery, so he's going to teach me how to do some pottery stuff. And there's some really cool people. We have relationships outside of our work environment. Outside of the professional, the only thing we relate to is our job. That's it. We have a lot more in common than just the place we work. We really appreciate each other.
Do you find yourself getting to know customers on a small scale?
Yes. It's great. Coming in to one place, 5 to 6 days a week working, it's really interesting and very rewarding seeing people come in, regular customers, and this is a part of their routine, and it's a great place. A lot of times we'll know their drinks, and just know, it's great. That's a big reason. Actually, number one reason why I work here is for customers. Is to meet people, hang out, and enjoy. I work with cool people and the customers. The money it doesn't pay the best, but it pays the bills per se. I live with my parents right now, so I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But the customers are the regular customers. Yes, there are a lot of them, and
you're able to see them and recognize them.
See them, recognize them, know their names, and yeah, it's a very good thing about working here. Yeah.
Is working in a coffee shop different than working at a basic restaurant, would you believe?
Yes, totally. And it's cool you asked that question because right before I worked here, I was working at Sumo Sushi and Hibachi Grill. Very high-paced, high-paced work environment. And I really enjoyed working there at both places. I found that the high-volume food service industry was a different kind of pace than what I wanted, and kind of the focus was on pretty much serving food, a high turnover, which is important in business. But here, I think that as opposed to focusing on serving the quantity of the food or product, it's a lot more time to get to know the customers, hang out, and hang out with the other employees.
How long have you been a barista, total, and how did you become trained in the field originally?
I've been a barista for a total of about 10 months. And this is the third month I've worked at this particular establishment. What was the other part of that question?
How did you become trained in the field initially?
Oh, I became trained through Caribou's training program. They had a really pretty decent training program. They had a book set up, just basic company policies and a list of drinks. It's very similar, through our coffee shops. There are a couple basic drinks that people will get, whether it's at Starbucks, Big B, Pete's Coffee, which is the new big location. So once you get trained at one, it's sort of pretty versatile knowledge, transferable to different locations.
While some locations might have their own specialty drinks, you can transfer the knowledge over.
Right, pretty much.
Do you have any pet peeves that may have developed while working as a barista?
Oh my God, it's a funny question. Bleach. I can't stand bleach. We use very particular about cleanliness at Bean and Leaf, and my opinion. Well, no, we're very particular, and to sanitize the dishes, we use bleach. We have a wash. We hand wash them. We rinse them. We put them in sanitizer, disinfectant water, and then we put them through a dishwasher. So that's 4 lines of washing that they go through. And the bleach water is what we also use to wipe down the tables and the counters. And that stuff dries up my hands. Right here, as you'll see, I got a dried, crusty knuckle from yesterday. That bleach water drives me nuts. That's pretty much the biggest pet peeve. I would prefer to use these sanitizer tablets that they sell at GFS. They're not so harsh on your skin, So.
Is it preferable to work in the morning, afternoon, or evening?
I prefer the morning a lot.
Why would that be?
Because, well, number one, there's more of a higher energy in the place, and people coming and going, and I find my mood is different in the morning. I'm more apt to. I wouldn't say I've never done since working here. Caribou I used to open going at 5:30 in the morning, but here the earliest I've started has been 9 a.m. And I find by 9 a.m. I've had a nice morning to myself to get myself going. I've had breakfast and done my morning thing that I do. I'm awake and alert. And actually, it's funny. There's more tips in the morning. People are, I don't know. It's the people that go to work. They'll.
The business type that would come through in the morning rush.
Right. And that's. So I got to be honest with you, that's a big reason why I like working more in the morning. Tips are so important because we get paid minimum wage working here, which is $7.48. In 2014, minimum wage is kind of negligible amount of income. It's you can't a gallon of gas. You can buy 2 gallons of gas for an hour of work, which is crazy. I don't know, but so the tips help, and you get more tips in the morning, and it averages the wage increases. Plus, you don't have to do all the closing work, it's a lot of work in the evening. You have to mop, wipe down everything, get everything completely concluded and stocked at the end of the evening. So it's a lot of work at night. In the morning and mid-afternoon, you're sort of in between. You just mostly just maintain the service area.
Okay. That was going to be one of my questions to
cool.
see if there's more work in the evening or if it was in the morning.
Right. The evening, there's more work in the evening. Yep.
Because you're cleaning up after the whole day.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it better to work with someone else or be like independent in this kind of environment?
Huh. It depends on the time of day, and who, what kind of mood you're in. Generally, I'd have to say I like working with other people because you can still you can talk with the customers more, and it's not as so much of an intense type of work where you're not just ringing up, making drinks, put them out. It's more. It's very more of a manageable workload working with somebody else, especially in the mornings and daytime it gets really busy. So you need to have someone on the cash register bringing up the orders and somebody making the drinks.
Okay. Is there here at Bean Leaf any sort of like uniform or guideline for clothing that they give?
There are no basic food service rules apply. No open toe shoes. Hair must be tied back. No like lip rings or crazy like piercings, which is cool. And what's the other one? No like vulgar shirts or anything, but we have our apron that's covered. So pretty basic dress code, And you gotta be, I guess, more or less clean. You can't come in like after camping for 2 weeks and you gotta be clean. So.
Okay. Do you have any sort of like ritual that you take part in when you come into work?
Wow, yeah, actually, first thing is, we put our stuff in the back. We've got a bar hanger thing over this little shelf, and that's where we hang up our clothes and our backpacks and stuff. So unload your gear, put on an apron, wash your hands always. We have some cards. We have our employee. We've got this old school kind of login system. That's where we have the 2 computers up at the front. And you slide the card in and log in. And then say, just catch up with the coworkers, and pretty much you just make sure that like you've got do a quick run through, make sure the stuff's loaded up, which generally it is. I mean, pretty important. Like leave it. Make sure you're adequately stocked for things and that your head's in the right place.
You don't want to start out being bitter or anything.
Right.
You're starting out.
Get a good cup of whatever tea you're in the mood for. That's what I do. I always come in, I make up some tea too, Like I get a good brew of tea and just kind of vibe on that tea throughout my shift, and kind of sets the tone.
Okay. I'm going to pause that.